the silent habits destroying your life. At 50 years old, David sat alone in his car after work. The parking lot was almost empty, the engine was off. The world outside kept moving, but inside his mind everything felt frozen. His phone was silent, no messages, no notifications, no distractions to hide behind, just silence. And this time, silence didn't feel peaceful, it felt heavy. The kind of silence that forces you to face yourself. As he stared through the windshield, one thought kept repeating. How did I get here? He wasn't thinking about one mistake. He wasn't thinking about one bad decision. He was thinking about a lifetime of small choices that never seemed important at the time. And now, all of them had added up, because he slowly realized something most people only understand too late. You don't destroy your life in one moment. You destroy it in thousands of small, silent moments that feel harmless. Lesson 1. I'll start tomorrow. David remembered being 25, full of energy, full of dreams, full of confidence. He wanted to build something meaningful, get in shape, travel, start a business, improve his life in every direction. But every time he felt motivated, he told himself the same thing. I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow felt safe. Tomorrow felt easy. Tomorrow felt endless. And because of that, nothing ever started. Tomorrow slowly became next week. Next week became next month. Next month became next year. And years became a pattern of delay, a pattern of excuses, a pattern of waiting for the right time that never came. One day, David realized something painful. The word tomorrow didn't protect his future. It destroyed it quietly, because life doesn't pause for your intentions. It only responds to your actions. And by the time he understood that, too much time had already passed. Lesson 2. Comfort is a silent trap. David didn't fail because he lacked opportunity. He failed because he chose comfort too often. Extra sleep instead of early mornings. Entertainment instead of learning. Scrolling instead of thinking. Avoiding discomfort instead of facing it. At the time, it didn't feel like a problem. It felt like rest. It felt like balance. It felt like taking it easy. But comfort has a hidden cost. While David stayed comfortable, other people stayed uncomfortable on purpose. They worked when they didn't feel like it. They studied when they were tired. They practiced when no one was watching. They pushed when it was difficult. And slowly, without noticing, the gap grew. Not overnight, not dramatically, but silently. And one day, David saw it clearly. Comfort doesn't just make life easier. It makes growth slower. And over time, it becomes expensive. Because every moment of comfort that replaces discipline is a moment you borrow from your future. And interest always comes due. Lesson 3. Time with family is never extra. One evening, David found an old photo album in a drawer, dusty, forgotten. He opened it casually. Inside were pictures of his children smiling, laughing, growing, birthday candles, school events, family vacations, first steps, first achievements. He smiled at first, but then something changed. He started noticing details. He wasn't in many of the photos, not because he wasn't part of the family, but because he was always somewhere else, working late, answering email, chasing promotions, trying to build a better future. He told himself it was all for them, but now he saw the truth. He was building a future at the cost of the present, and the worst part was, he can't go back. His children didn't stay small, time didn't wait, moments didn't repeat, and suddenly he understood something that hurt more than anything else. You don't just provide for your family with money, you provide for them with presence. And presence is the one thing money can never replace. Lesson 4. Small choices decide big outcomes. David used to believe life changed through big moments, big decisions, big risks, big breakthroughs. But looking back, he realized the truth was much quieter. Life changes through repetition, through habits, through what you do when nobody is watching. Skipping one workout doesn't change your life, but skipping hundreds does. Reading one page doesn't transform you, but reading none for years keeps you the same. Saving a small amount once doesn't matter, but ignoring money habits for decades creates stress later. Apologizing once doesn't change relationships, but avoiding difficult conversations destroys them slowly. Life is built like layers, one small choice on top of another, until one day the structure is complete, and by then it feels permanent. Lesson 5. The illusion of approval. For most of his life, David cared too much about what people thought. He wanted approval, respect, validation. He made decisions based on expectations, not desire, not purpose, not truth. He stayed within safe boundaries. He avoided judgment. He avoided criticism. He avoided failure. But at 50, he realized something surprising. Most people he tried to impress weren't even paying attention. They were busy with their own lives, their own problems, their own insecurities. He spent decades living inside invisible pressure that didn't even exist in reality. And when he finally understood that, something inside him shifted. He felt lighter, not because life became easier, but because he stopped carrying opinions that were never his responsibility. Lesson 6. Health is a compounding account. At 30, David ignored his body. At 40, he started feeling it. At 50, he lived with it. Poor diet, no exercise, irregular sleep, stress without recovery. At first, nothing happened, so he assumed nothing would. But health doesn't collapse instantly. It declines quietly, like a bank account. Every unhealthy habit is a withdrawal. Every healthy habit is a deposit. And for years, David kept withdrawing without checking the balance. Until one day, the body sent the bill: fatigue, pain, medication, limitations. And the hardest truth he had to accept was this: you can ignore your health for years, but your health will never ignore you back. The final lesson. As David sat in that parking lot, he wasn't overwhelmed by regret. He was overwhelmed by clarity, because now he could see the pattern of his entire life. Not one mistake, not one failure, but thousands of small decisions that quietly shaped everything. And if he could speak to his younger self, he would say, stop waiting, start now. Move your body, build discipline, learn a skill, call your family, take responsibility, make the uncomfortable choices early. Because life doesn't become what you wish for, it becomes what you repeat. And the scary part is, you are always repeating something. Good habits or bad habits, growth or stagnation, discipline or delay. There is no neutral, only direction. Closing message. One day everyone ends up in a moment like David's. Quiet, still, reflective, looking back at years that moved faster than expected. And in that moment, one truth becomes clear. Your life is not shaped by rare events. It is shaped by ordinary days. So don't underestimate today. Don't ignore small habits. Don't postpone change. Because your future self is already being built by what you are doing right now. And when you finally meet that version of yourself, you will either thank today's decisions or question them.